Hello and welcome to tutorial number 5, and we're going to be looking at another sound that's inspired by Tometer. This is called synth rise, and the oscillators, or one of the oscillators, has got a rise in pitch like that. We can alter the octave of that, up or down, but that's the basic sound. And we'll start with the initial setting. It's probably a good idea to actually do the patch on here first. So the patch bay, we're going to take envelope 1 out and put that to invert in. Now the output of these envelopes is already inverted, so I'm inverting it back again. So let's have a look. That wants to go from invert into sum 1A. So that's at the bottom there. And then from what's also going to go into the sum 1, but B this time, is envelope 2. So we're having a mixture of envelopes controlling the pitch in a minute. Okay. And then we go from the sum total into just oscillator 2. So the first thing that we're going to do is turn the oscillator mix to oscillator 1, and that's pretty much our initial setting. Okay, so on oscillator 1 we want the wave shape to be pulse. Okay, and the width of the pulse is dead in the middle. When we bring in oscillator 2, let's bring in oscillator 2. You can hear kind of a thumpy sound. That's because we need to alter the pitch of that, because the pitch is too low at the moment. So we'll bring in this setting, which is a much fluider tuning setting, and we're going to tune oscillator 2 to 2 octaves. Okay, that's going to be affected by envelope 2, so I'm going to put the sustain control to about here and then fine tune oscillator 2 to 2 octaves above oscillator 1. There we are. And you get that sort of chirpy effect, which is exactly what we want for the sound. Okay, we'll move then on to the filter section. Let's just actually, we also need oscillator 2 to be a pulse wave. That's a more powerful sound. Filter, round about there, no resonance, no filter depth, envelope depth, want a bit of that, that's about up to there, no noise or VCA bias. We're not using the LFO this time, but we are going to use a bit of delay. So across to that setting for the time, repeats about there, and of course all of these more accurate settings can be found on the graphic above that you can see there. So mix, that's great. So drive up to the middle. Tone, we need a bit more tone just to hear the higher frequency elements. Okay, and then we're going to alter the envelopes. Now, because the envelopes are controlling the pitch of the oscillators, we need to be quite careful with those. So attack 0, decay 0, sustain all the way up, and release round about there. So we're actually getting a pitch movement after we take the note off. But because envelopes 1 and 2 are being summed together, again, envelope number 2 is going to be crucial. So attack 0, decay is about there, and fine tune that to 2 octaves. Now the release instead of having that kind of release from envelope 1, it's going to have a different release. A faster release. And that's the sound that we want. We're not using any attenuators, so that's it. Now the fun thing about this sound, of course, is that the pitch of the oscillators is governed by the envelopes. So the different release times or even sustain levels can alter the actual pitch. And the release would alter the pitch rise at the end. So if we have 0 release on the upper one, you can't hear anything because it doesn't release the sound. But if we have maximum release, the sound is actually going down, the pitch is going down before it goes up. So to have a slightly more tempered setting, we put that to, and you'll see this on the graphic, about there, and we can get just the sound that we need. Altering this release time, again, alters the pitch that you hear after I release a key. And you can experiment with this just to time it on the sound that you want. But that's roughly the sound that I've got on the demo track.